friends, how are you? This is the Chaldonut speaking, and welcome to a little project I've been working on quite a bit lately. I've been pouring a ton of time into it, to be perfectly honest with you. I'm probably, I don't know, it's definitely more than 10 hours into the project now. And if you're wondering why I'm uploading this instead of Tekkit, because obviously, as you can see, this is not Tekkit, as I am in creative mode, and there is no hole in all of our Tekkit world that looks like this. Also the title. But anyway, the reason why is I'm working on getting UU matter for our quantum suit, and it's getting pretty darn grindy. I've been making overclockers and things to speed it up, but it's taking quite a while, and I don't want to spend... I don't want to really proceed with an episode before I have the materials needed to make and try out quantum armor, which is definitely the next step for us. So, rather than make an episode where I wasn't really sure what we were going to do, I figured I'd show you this, guys. So, without further ado, this is the project I'm working on. It is a CTM map. So, you spawn up here, and... there are some signs. So you're some hotshot CTMer, are you? Here to crush this map like it's nothing? Well, good luck with that. Suppose I don't actually care about that, though. I just want to see you die. And once you jump down this hole, you will. Not a very good evil laugh. Forgive me. I'll work on it. I'm sure I'll get better at it as I continue to work on this map. Anyway, there's a hole here to drop down. Come down into the water. There's a button to set your spawn down here. There's the rules signboard. Welcome to Death by Hole, a CTM map by the Chaldonut. All normal CTM rules apply. Don't leave the map. Complete the monument. Play on easy or higher difficulty. Don't craft monument walls. Don't break or craft ender chests. Also have fun. The people who have playtested the map aside from myself thus far are Alex, aka the King Ocelot, and Brian, JazzCat92. You've seen them both before in videos if you are a regular viewer of the channel. Just a couple of notes. If you don't want spoilers in case this map ever actually does get completed, which I'm hoping it will, don't worry. Today I'm only really going to be talking about the first area. I believe, we might get to maybe a second one, but there are going to be plenty more areas. If you know much about CTMs, there are 16 areas usually, one for each color of wool. So you're not seeing too much today. But also, please let me know, if you are interested in this, if you'd like to see maybe a series where I give you updates on the progress and talk about the dungeons I'm making and things like that. Because I do have quite a few dungeons done. I have 4 done. Well, done is a subjective term. They're only partly done. Well, they're like finished copies, but there are some bugs I need to work out. But this starting area is pretty much completely done. Anyway, let's move on. So, the player spawns in, they get 14 raw chicken, they get 8 coal, 2 iron ingots, and then there's the looter's pickaxe, there's the looter's cap, and the looter's cane. Pretty good starting gear, but no unbreaking on the cap or the pickaxe. However, the hoe will last forever if you're only using it for melee. Anyway, this is our first area. It's called Stalag Cavern because there are a lot of icy pillars that are sort of... They're not stalactites and they're not stalagmites because they meet in the middle and it's essentially just a pillar. So I called it stalag instead of actually finishing the word. Anyway, we've got quite a few pieces of gear in the map. We've got the gladiator's helmet when you leave your little home at the start. And that's a Protection 2 gold helmet. And I suppose I should mention, the idea here is you're going to break the rules signboard. You're going to take this gear, set up a little home base, and then you're going to forge out into the unknown. You're going to find this, most likely, this helmet, signified both by the chest and this typical sand and sign combo found in many CTM maps. But there are some obstacles in the way. You've got a spawner here, we've got spawners on this side, the skeleton, got more up ahead zombies, etc. So there are quite a few obstacles in the player's path early on. Then I have poor gear, which is basically terminology for leather armor and a wood sword. So I'm not too generous early on, I suppose. Anyway, we move on to this area. We've got a giant pillar of ice right here with some water around it. We've got more spawners. And then we have a serious balancing issue that I'm going to have to deal with. The intersection is right up here, the first one. If you don't know much about CTM maps, guys, I suppose I didn't really talk about that, but there are basically areas for each color wool, and the goal is to raid each area and get the wool from it. There are usually a ton of spawners and other things in your way. And one other thing, of course, as I just said, there's an intersection, and those are basically where the areas meet up. And there are typically, I think, 5 intersections in a map. Anyway, this is the Gladiator's Blade. It's a sharpness 3, unbreaking 3 gold sword. But that's not really what is the issue here. This is the issue. This is a spawner with a zombie with leather armor with a chest on its head. You can see there. And the thing about this that makes it so OP is not the gear. The gear that it has is not that good, though it does provide the player with an easy way to farm up some leather and wood gear that does have a couple enchants on them. It's like sharpness 1, stuff like that. The big problem, though, is if I go on to easy difficulty, these things spawn way too fast. They don't seem to be spawning very quickly here, but they do spawn far too quickly, to be honest, and if you don't charge in right away and break this spawner or light it up, you're going to get quite a few mobs on your hand. It doesn't seem to be spawning too quickly right now, but it does go pretty fast, I've found in playtests. So that's going to be rebalanced. I'm going to slow down that spawner. Anyway, here is an area of interest, of course. I mean, it's a giant pillar with an entrance. Now, there's a spawner out front, as we just passed. It's a spider spawner, I think. And then we've got a spawner in the wall back here to add some extra difficulty. But if you get up to the top, we've got... here, let me break in. This one I'll show off. I haven't been breaking too many chests because I don't want to get rid of the signs and stuff, but this one we'll go into. So we've got Hailstorm and Maelstrom. So some nice weapons indicated by lapis, usually code for high-quality gear, if you didn't know that, in CTM maps. Also, you can tell I've been dropping a lot of coal off throughout the areas. So basically, from this point forward, I assume that the player has plenty of torches and plenty of coal. Now we get to kind of the clear dungeon area of the map, or at least of the area, not of the map. So we've got some areas of interest here. We've got a couple of chests. We've got Gladiator's Leggings, Protection 2 Gold Pants, and then over here we've got another chest. Very much needed nourishment. That's kind of my code for food. I use much needed, I use very much needed. I think at one point I say very, very much needed. That's just varying levels of food and potentially spawn eggs. So that's just a little area of interest. Anyway, this is the major section where, yes, we actually do have stalagmites and stalactites, which I suppose makes Stalag Cavern not such a weird name. Anyway, there are a whole bunch of spawners under the ground. There's also one exposed one over here. Most of them, I don't know if I'll be able to find one, but they're under blocks like these on the corners, stuff like that. Probably won't be able to find any of it. There's one right here. Creeper spawner. There's a whole bunch in the area is the point. And anyway, we've got the Felici box at the back. If we hop in here, I have converted some of the glowstone that's typical of a Felici box, which, if you did not know, contains the wool for a dungeon with redstone lamps, so that monsters can still spawn outside and make things kind of difficult for you. Also, I'm starting a tradition for my map where I leave signs to the player, and I taunt them. So here I'm saying, "How are you? Bad, I hope." And that's our first taunt. Well, not our first taunt. There are quite a few already, even. If we move back, I'm tempted to move into spectator mode, but I really don't want to do that, guys, because if you don't want spoilers more than or beyond the first area, I will show that to you if I no-clip, so I don't want to do that. Anyway, this chest is a gift, my first and last you I consider to be my second taunt. This whole signboard is my first, so that was my third at the end of the dungeon. I suppose, and it doesn't stop there. I'm really getting into the role here of the CTM Mapmaker, and frankly, it's a lot of fun. I'm really enjoying it. Now, this area, I have to say, is one of the bigger ones in the map so far. It might still be on top as the biggest. There are a couple that rival it in size, but there are also a couple of small ones so far. The new area I'm working on, the fifth one in the map, in Intersection 2, is pretty big. It's probably about the same size as this one, it's just a lot more open, whereas this one, well, I guess I would define it as open. It doesn't exactly make you feel claustrophobic. It does have much tighter walls, whereas the other one is wider open world terrain, more open world-ish area. And then there's one other area that's about the same size as those two. But that's kind of an issue for me. Like, I'm always concerned I'm making my areas too small. Fun fact about this area, actually. Originally, I was going to have this icy pillar be the wall, and you would come in here. This would be with brick slabs, where the lapis is, and there would be a sign on top that said, "Who said I had to use fleecy boxes?" Because I wasn't, of course, using them necessarily then, in this particular circumstance. But I realized when I watched, just because I was curious, I was watching some Inferno Mines stuff, because I was bored, and also, of course, I was busy making a CTM, so what could be more appropriate for the occasion? And I noticed my area felt a lot smaller than anything that was in Inferno Mines. So I dug out this river, which I suppose I failed to mention has spawners in it, a couple skelly ones. Since skeletons are already pretty quick to shoot you, and then when you're in water you can't really run up to them and kill them so easily. So I felt like it was an annoying thing to do. So perfect for my purposes. Anyway, I carved out this area afterwards and put the wool here instead, which allows me to use a full fleecy box for one, but also it adds quite a bit to the total length of time that is required to complete this dungeon, which I do like. I'm very pleased with that. Yes, that's pretty much Stalag Cavern. I sort of came up with the theme, I guess, on the fly, because I was just trying to create an interesting cave. I had no idea what my first area was going to be. And so my original idea was to create sort of two pathways you could go here. But then I ended up looping them back together quite quickly, and I ended up having this neat little pillar. And I was like, this is pretty cool. So I kept doing it throughout the areas, and that creates our general theme for the area. It was much later that I added in the ice, but I figured it was appropriate, as it both adds some color to the area, some difficulty, because torches will melt the ice and then get broken by the flowing water. So that's a little interesting bit. And then, really, that's pretty much it. But they do add to the area, I think. Anyway, we'll go check out the intersection, but I won't actually go into any of the areas. There is a taunt, again, so you made it. Good work. Not that that was at all special. Anyway, things are about to get real. Prepare yourself. And so we have a little joke here. Definitely not intersection 1. Definitely not intersection 1. Intersection 1. And definitely not intersection 1. So kind of poking a little fun here. Anyway, we've got a few areas. We've got the Mayan cenote. We've got Reflection, which I'm sure you can guess what it is by looking at this tunnel. And we've got Rushing Rivers, which I won't go into too much detail about. I don't want to spoil anything in this intersection more than I already have, if you are ever going to be interested in playing it, but I'm sure the map will change enough that even if I were to show you the areas, it probably wouldn't give you too many spoilers, because, as I said, I'm considering retrofitting a number of my areas. Mayan cenote and pretty much the only one I'm seriously going to retrofit I guess, is Rushing Rivers, because it's a bit small. The other ones I'm going to be making some changes to, as I said, I'm going to rebalance the hostile chests. But I'm making good progress. Anyway, I came down here to mention what this is. You think you're so smart, right? Basically, a little background on this. They're typically items underneath intersections, chests. Sometimes there's sort of a mini dungeon. And so my intersection room is very small this time. The next one is bigger, don't worry. But here we have a chest. We say, you think you're so smart, right? We're kind of calling them out. And then I leave a stick there for them. So again, I'm taking on a very mean persona and taunting and poking fun at them all the time, which is actually quite fun to do. The CTM Mapmaker persona is great. So it's a wonderful thing. Anyway, guys, if there is enough support for this series, I may take you through some of the other dungeons as I work on them, show off what I'm doing, the progress I make. So if you are interested in the project, please remember to like and subscribe. If you want to actually see a map-making series and not just encourage me to keep working on the map, then please comment as well, letting me know that you want that. Feedback would be much appreciated. If you have any ideas for areas or any thoughts about this one. That had to go. Anyway, yeah, so feedback, as I said, is very, very welcome. I would love to hear responses from you guys. I would love to also do a series on this, but I know that might be tough to do because some of you might be discouraged from watching due to spoilers. So let me know if that's a concern for you, and if there's enough support, it might turn into a series. Wouldn't be regular because obviously these areas take a lot of time to make, and I wouldn't want to spend too much time per episode doing some of the grindy work. But I would show off all the areas and some of their features to you. Sort of like a DevCom, but I wouldn't actually be playing through the map, I would be making it. Anyway, though, I have been rambling for long enough about the future of this potential series and project. I hope you have enjoyed. Please remember to like and subscribe if you did. This has been the Chaldonut speaking. Goodbye, friends. And I will see you all next time. Potentially with some more of Death by Whole Development.